recuerda que un día le dije que le iba a hablar un poco de Tesla. Aquí tengo cuaderno, mira, mi hijo me lo regaló. Bueno, vamos a ver qué tal y entiende un poco. Dice aquí, Chapter 18, Online and Other High Frequency Phenomena. Introductory some thoughts on the eye. When we look at the world around us, nature, we are impressed with its beauties and grandeur. Each thing we perceive, though it may be vanishingly small, is in itself a world that is like a whole of the universe matter, and force governed by the law and world, the contemplation of which fill us with feeling of wonder and irresistibly urge us to ceaseless sow and inquire. But in all this vast world of all objects, our sense reveals to us the most marvelous, the most appealing to our imagination, appear no doubt a highly developed organism, a thinking being. If there is anything fit to make us admire natural handiwork, it is certainly this inconceivable structure which performs its innumerable motion of obedience to external influence. To understand its working, to get a deeper insight into this nature masterpiece has ever been for thinkers a fascinating aim, and after many centuries of ardent research, men had arrived at a fair understanding of the function of its organs and sense, again in all the perfect harmony of the part which constitute the material or tangible of our being, of all its organs. Sense, the eye is the most wonderful. It is the most precious, the most indispensable for our perceptives or directive organs. It is the great gateway through which all knowledge enters the mind. All our organ, it is the one which is the most intimate relationship with that which we call intellect. So intimate is the relation that is often say that very soul shows itself in the eyes. This lecture was delivered in Franklin Institute, Philadelphia, February 1893, and before the National Electric Light Association, San Luis, March 1993. Dice que esta lectura fue dada en el Instituto de Filadelfia en febrero de 1893 y antes la Asociación y Luz Eléctrica de San Luis en 1893. Ve que está diciendo que el ojo, o sea, el órgano más importante para el intelecto es la vista. Aunque hay gente que no tiene vista como babanga y fuera de serie, ¿verdad? It can be taken as fact which the theory of action of the eye implies that for each external impression, that it is for each image produced upon the retina, the end of the visual nerves concerned in the conveyance of the impression to the mind must be under a peculiar stress, or in a vibratory state. It now does not seem improbable that when, by the power of thought, an image is evoked, a distinct reflex action, no matter how weak, is exerted upon certain end of the visual nerves and therefore upon the retina, which is ever be within human power to analyze the condition of the retina when disturbed by thought or reflex action, by the help of some optical or other means, such as sensitiveness, that clear idea of its state might be gained at any time. If there were possible, then the problem of reading one thought with precision, like the characters of open books, may be much easier to solve than many problems belonging to the domain of positive physical science, in the solution of which many is not the majority of scientific men implicitly believe. Helmholtz has shown that the fundi of the eye are themselves luminous, and he was able to see its total darkness to movement on his arm by the light of his own eyes. This is one of the most remarkable experiments recorded in history of science, and probably only a few men could satisfactorily repeat it, for it's very likely that the luminosity of the eye is associated with the uncommon activity of the brain and great imaginative power in fluorescence of brain action as is were. Another fact having a bearing on the subject, which has probably been noted by many in the state of popular expression, but which I cannot recollect to have found chronicled as a positive result of observation, is that at a time when a sudden idea or image presents itself to the intellect, there is a distinct and sometimes painful sensation of luminosity produced in the eye, observable even in the broad daylight. The saying then that the soul shows itself in the eye is deeply founded, and we feel that they express a great truth. It has a profound meaning, ever for one who, like a poet or artist, only following his inborn instinct of love for nature, find the light in endless soul and in the mere contemplation of natural phenomena, but still more profound meaning for one who, in the spirit of positive scientific investigation, seeks as ascertain the cause of the effects. It is principally the natural philosopher, the physicist, for whom the eye is the subject of the most intense admiration. Two facts about the eye must forcibly impress the mind of the physicist. Notwithstanding, he may seem or say that it's an imperfect optical instrument, forgetting that the very conception of that which is perfect or seen to him has been gained through his same instrument. First, the eye is, as far as our positive knowledge goes, the only organ which is directly affected by the subtle medium, which, as science teaches us, must fill all space. Secondly, is the most sensitive of our organs, incomparably more sensitive than external expression than any other. The organ of hearing implies the impact of ponderable bodies. The organ of smell, the transference of detached material particles, and the organ of taste and of the touch of force. The direct contacts, or at least some interferences of ponderable matter, and this is true even in those instances of animal organisms in which some of these organs are developed to a degree of truly marvelous perfection. This being so, it seems wonderful that the organ of sight suddenly should be capable of being stirred by that which all our other organs are powerless to detect, yet which play as an essential part in all natural phenomena, which transmit all energy and substantial all motion, and that most intricately lie, but which has properties such as that even the scientifically trained mind cannot help drawing a distinction between it and all that is called matter, considering merely this and the fact that the eye, by its marvelous power, widen our otherwise very narrow range of perception far beyond the limit of the small world, which is our perception, our own, to embrace myriads of other worlds, suns and stars in the infinite depths of the universe, will make it justifiable to assert that it's an organ of higher order. Its performances are beyond comprehension. Nature, as far as known, never produced anything more wonderful. We can get barely a faint idea of its prodigious power by analyzing what it does and by comparing wherever weighs impinge upon the human body They produce the sensation of warmth or cold, pleasure or pain, or perhaps other sensation on which we are not aware on any degree, or intensity of this sensation, which degree are infinity in number, hence the infinity number of distinct sensations. But our sense of touch or our sense of force cannot reveal to us this difference in degree or intensity unless they are very great. Now we can readily conceive how an organ such as the human in the eternal process of evolution, or more philosophically speaking, adaptation to nature, being constrained to this to use only the sense of touch or force, for instance, might develop this sense such a degree of sensitiveness of perfection that it will be capable of distinguishing the minute difference in the temperature of a body event in some distance to a hundred or thousands of millions part of that degree. Yet, even this apparently impossible performance will not be to compare with that of the eye, which is capable of distinguishing and conveying to the mind in a single instant innumerable peculiarities of the body, be it in form or color or other respects. This power of the eye rests upon two things, namely this rectilinear propagation of the disturbance by which it affects, and upon its sensitiveness. To say that the eye is sensitive is not saying anything, compared which all other organs are mostly screwed. The organ of smell, which guides us a dog, or the trail of a deer, the organ of touch or force, which guides an insect and its wandering, the organ of hearing, which is affected by the slightest disturbance on the air, are sensitive organs, to be sure, but what are they compared with the human eye? No doubt it responds to the faintest echoes of reverberation of the medium. No doubt it brings tidings from other world, infinitely remote, but it's a language we cannot as yet always understand. And why not? Because we live in a medium filled with air and other gases, vapor, and dense mass of solid particles flying about. This plays an important part in many phenomena. They frighten away the energy of the vibration. Before they can reach the eye, they too are the carriers of germ or destruction. They get into the lung and other organs, up the channel and imperceptibly, yet inevitably, a radial stream of light. Could we but do away with all ponderable matter in the line of sight of this telescope, it will reveal to us undreamed of marvel. Even the unaided eye, I think, will be capable of distinguishing in the pure medium small objects at distance measured probably by hundreds or perhaps thousands of miles. But there isn't something else about the eye which impressed us still more than these wonderful features which we observe viewing in from the standpoint of the physics merely as an optical instrument, something which appears to us more than a marvelous faculty of being directly affected by the vibration of the medium without interference. Interference, growth, matter, and more that is inconceivable sensitiveness and discerning power is significant in the process of life. No matter what one view of natural life may be, he must stand amazed when, for the first time in his soul, he realized the importance of the eye in the physical processes and mental performance of the human organism, and how could it be otherwise when he realized that the eye is the means through which the human race had acquired the entire knowledge. It possesses that it controls in our motion, more still in our action. There is no way of acquiring knowledge except through the eyes, what is the foundation of philosophical system of action in modern time. In fact, in all the philosophy of man, I am think, I am therefore I am, but how could I think and how will I know that I exist if I had no the eye? Pienso y luego existo, decía Descartes. Por eso dice él, pero sin el ojo, ¿cómo yo podría saber que existo? Lo que sé. For the knowledge involves consciousness, Consciousness involves ideas, conception. Conception involves picture or image, and image descends as vision, and therefore the organ of sight. But how about blind men? Will be asked. Yes, a blind man may depict in magnificent point for and sense from a real life, from a world he physically does not see. A blind man may touch the key of an instrument, which unvarying precision may model the fastest boat, may discover and invent, calculate, and constructs may do still greater wonders. But all the blind men who had done such things have descended from those who had seen eye. Nature may reach the same result in many ways, like a way of physical world in the infinite ocean of the medium which pervades also in the world of organisms in light and impulse started to see onward on time may be with the speed of light, and time again is slow that for ages and ages it seems to stay passing through processes of complexity inconceivable to men, but all four in all its stage, its energy over and ever integrally present. A single ray of light from a distant star falling upon the eye, a tyrant in bygone time may have altered the course of his life, may have changed the destiny of nature, may have transformed the surface of the globe to integrate so inconceivable complex are the processes of nature. In no way can we get such an overwhelming idea of the grandeur of nature as when we consider that in accordance with the law of the conservation of energy throughout the infinite, the forces are in perfect balance, and hence the energy of a single soul may determine the motion of the universe. It is not necessary that every individual, not even that every generation of many generations should have the physical instrument of sight in order to be able to form image and to think. That is four ideas of conception, but sometimes or other during the process of evolution. The eye certainly must have existed, else, so as we understand, it will be impossible. Else conception like spirit, intellect, mind, call it you may could not exist. It's conceivable that in some other world, in some other being, the eye is replaced by a different organ equally or more perfect, but this being cannot be man. Now, what prompts us the voluntary motion or action, any kind? Again, the eye is unconscious of the motion. It must have an ideal conception that in an image, therefore, the eye is. I am not precisely conscious of the motion. It is because the images are both an indistinct being blurred by the superimposition of many, but when I perform the motion, that the impulse which prompts me to action comes from within, from without. The great physicist has no disdain to endeavor to answer this is similar question and had the time abandoned themselves to the delight of pure understanding. So such questions are generally considered not to belong to the realm of positive physics science, but will before long be annexed to its domain. Helmholtz has probably thought more our lives than any modern scientist. Lord Kelvin expressed his belief that light is processed in electrical and there is a force inherent to the organism and determined in motion. Just as much as I am convinced on any physical truth, I am convinced that the motive impulse must come from the outside. Consider the lowest organism we know, and therefore probably many lower ones, in aggregation of a few cells only. It is capable of voluntary motion. It can perform an infinite number of motions, all determined and precise. But now mechanisms consist of finite number of parts and few, and that cannot be performed an infinite number of definite motion. Hence, the impulse which governs in movement must come from the environment. So, the atom, the ulterior element of the universe structure, is tossed about the space eternally and play external influence like a boat in troubled sea. Where is to stop the motion and will die, matters arrest such a thing could exist, will be matter, death of matter. Never has sentence of deeper philosophical meaning been uttered. This is the way in which prophet of the world falsify express. It is description is a mirror experiment in which liquid oxygen is handled as a hailless water and air, and ordinary pressure it may be condensed and even to solidify to the intense cold. Experiment which serve to illustrate its language that the feeble manifestation of light, the last quivering no matter about to die. But human eyes shall not witness such death. There is no death of matter, for through to infinite of universe I has to move to brighter is to light. Lo vamos a dejar hasta ahí.